This tutorial will provide a brief overview of the basic features of the Audit module. Click the New button to create a new audit. Then you can use the search screen to find it, or assignments from the audit will show up on your dashboard. The Audit Options drop-down gives you access to all the screens you need to set up and conduct your audit. There are several features we aren't going to cover here, like the controls that allow you to determine who is qualified to audit a particular area of your company. You can set up audits that audit the requirements of a particular standard, like we've done here, or a process that is defined by one or more procedures. Once we clicked the Add All button, all the ISO clauses were added to the audit. Then we just selected the standard or checklist to import the questions from. Then we clicked the Import Questions to New Checklist button, and the Lean machine created our audit checklist for us. You can get to the audit checklist in several ways. One is simply from the Audit Information screen. This link between a release procedure and an audit question is one of the tools that can be used to create a process audit. You can navigate through the checklist with the arrows at the bottom, or use the search button to move to a specific question. Let's jump to an audit question for which we have a minor finding. Multiple observations can be entered here to justify either a finding or the conformance of existing procedures and practices to the audited requirement. Now let's take a look at the Audit Compliance Monitor. This handy feature lets you look at the organization's compliance based on the criteria selected. Let's see how we are doing on our path to meeting all of the ISO 9001-2008 requirements. Looks like we still have a minor nonconformance to deal with. The Audit Compliance Monitor allows both visibility and access to the individual findings that are preventing full compliance. Of course, in real life, you will probably first see audit findings assigned to you from your dashboard. So let's navigate to this finding from our dashboard. And here we are. That was pretty easy. Now we can respond and deal with the finding. Of course, the Lean machine will also provide you many more features to help you manage audit findings and the associated actions that might result. This can include links to multiple supporting documents, CAPAs, and document change orders. If the finding has been assigned, any change to the finding is also logged and can be reported on to verify sufficient records exist to justify changing the setting. You can either manage follow-up to audits like this, or create a new audit of the same master question and create a more up-to-date finding. A different report from the Management Reporting screen will allow you to look for all changes to audit findings. Now let's apply our 21 CFR Part 11 compliant electronic signature to verify this finding has both been received and completed. The meaning of the signature for your organization can be customized by clicking the Signature timestamp field. Now we have met all the requirements for this standard. The other audit feature you might want to use is the quarterly audit schedule calendar. Since we scheduled all of our clauses with one audit in August, we can see the number 1 in the schedule for open audits in the third quarter. If there is more than one audit that addresses this clause that is still open, it will appear on this drop-down list from which you can navigate to that audit. Now that the checklist is complete, we can write a summary and sign off on the audit to close it. From here, you can access several audit reports. Now let's take a quick look at how you can manage what goes into an audit checklist. There's a lot of flexibility with this module, as you can use it to establish checklist questions from any source, whether that is an ISO standard or a customized vendor audit checklist you use to manage supplier qualification audits. This screen allows you to manage all the audit checklist questions in the system and establish which checklists or standards they will be imported to when creating a new audit checklist. Since many ISO standards use the exact same language for several of the sections or clauses in the standard, this area allows us to deliver a complete checklist for a variety of standards without having to enter requirements for each one separately. The scoring tab is especially useful when customizing your own checklists and compliance with a given item needs to be weighted for how important it is. This concludes a brief overview of the audit module basic features. Please contact LMBS if you don't see something that your audit program would need to have, as we have probably already built it or can easily add it to a future update.